The other day I was talking to my buddy Hakey about the Overton window, and he looks at me and he's like, well, how much does it cost? And I'm like, oh, it's not an actual window. And he's like, oh, so I don't need to know the R factor? And I'm like, no, Hakey, the Overton window is like a tool to take over the world. And he's like, what do you mean a tool to take over the world? And I'm like, oh, it's long-term planning. It's like a retirement fund for your family, you know. I'm gonna do these steps, and then my kids will do these steps, and then my grandkids will do these steps, and then sooner or later, we're gonna rule the world, and we're just gonna be in charge. And Hakey's all, well, yeah, there's evil people out there in the world there, you know. What you gonna do about it? You know, what's this window you're talking about? And I'm like, oh, the Overton window is just a tool. It's just like you pick out where you want society to go. And if you want them to start being comfortable with world rulers and not having their freedoms and their rights and stuff, well, then you just kind of, you're like, well, what will each generation tolerate? And you're like, okay, well, this generation, they'll tolerate being ticketed for not wearing a seatbelt. So there goes that freedom. And this generation will be tolerated for not saying this word or that word. So there goes that freedom. And it's just a little inchy binchy at a time. And it just gets where they're going. But it's like a long-term plan. And just so many people don't know what this Overton window is because they can't see the forest for the trees. So if you guys out there are a little bit like Hakey and you don't know exactly what the Overton window is, now you know. It's a tool that those people who are looking to take over the world are using to do it one generation at a time and, quit looking at all the trees and wake up and see the forest.